My name is Bernie McAvoy, and I'm originally from Ballyfermot, now living in Tala. I started work when I was 15, and of course when you have a few bob, the first thing you do was, what we did was go to the pub. And I was saying to myself, she's talking to me about things I know and I've heard growing up through the church, and yet this night it seemed so different and so real. And I actually started to cry that night in the pub, and it still actually affects me when I think about it sometimes. But we actually ran into the toilets because I remember my sister Mel says to me, "Don't let Mum see you crying because she'll kill me," you know. So we went into the ladies, and she was telling me about the Lord and how Jesus had died. And I'm saying, I'm thinking, this is all so different, and how come I know all this and yet it's still so real? And for the first time I realised that Jesus loved me, because we've all heard it since we were very young that Jesus died for the world. And this was the time when I felt Jesus loved me for myself and as I was. And I thought this was very unusual, and I thought it was fantastic, really. But it was about 2 or 3 weeks later, I was at home one night in bed, and I hadn't decided. I hadn't made any decision. But one night in bed, I was going through everything that I'd been told, and I was thinking about it one night, and all of a sudden it struck me that if I died tonight, I'd go straight to hell. And that was a thought that struck me that night, and I remember thinking, I have a choice to make. And that night I asked Jesus just into my heart, and I just said, "Lord, forgive me for my sins and save my soul." And he did. There was no flashes of light, there was nothing. And nothing I could say that night anyway. I went to bed, I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning, went to work, and I also had a grin from ear to ear because one of the lads in work came up to me and said to me, what are you smiling about? You're smiling all day.
Okay. Why would you believe that?
That I'd go to hell? Well, because if you look at the scriptures themselves, even the New Testament alone, Jesus himself spoke more about hell than did about heaven. And obviously there's a warning of that for everybody. I mean, if Jesus spoke about it, there was a reason for it. Jesus didn't talk for the sake of talking. He always had a purpose for everything he said. And when I heard about Jesus dying for me, he died to save me from hell, and it cost him everything. So you need Jesus no matter who you are. I know you probably think you know Jesus when you're a religious person and you know all about God, but you have to have that reality in your heart. And if you don't have the reality of knowing Jesus as a friend, as a saviour first of all, and a friend, well then you don't know Jesus. If I didn't know Jesus as my friend, I don't think I could live life. If I didn't know Jesus, I don't actually know where I'd be today. I don't like to think about it.